Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Routier time. Look, I know you guys are gonna ask me about my dick.
Hadouken!
Mus, my dickmas, DKMAS. Don't kill, make a sandwich. Hello. I know you guys are gonna ask me about my Dickmas shirt. Before you even ask me about my Dickmas shirt, I'm gonna tell you now, someone made this and sent this to me as a gift. So I don't have this to give to you all, but there will be merch on the way. And since people want a Don't Kill, Make a Sandwich shirt, since people are recognizing the symbol of the dolphin as the sign of John Chrymes, I will have something similar to this. So thank you for whoever gave me this right here. I definitely appreciate that. And on this week with Chrymes, we're going to discuss Darlie Routier and the untimely passing of Nipsey Hussle. So, first, let's start with Darlie Routier. Now, everybody's asking me about Darlie Routier, and I told everybody I don't know anything about Darlie Routier. I never heard of it. I don't know why you guys keep saying her name. I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about the case. Apparently, I was lying without knowing I was lying. But, okay, what had happened was I decided to look up the Darlie Routier case last night only a little bit. So when you see me do a Chrymes with Chrymes, that means I just looked up the information. So don't hold this as to this is how I feel permanently. Let me get into it. We can talk about this some other times. But if you see this come across my documentary, that's after I've done full research, and those are how I really feel. So on Chrymes with Chrymes, I don't know a lot of details. I'm telling you guys now. All right? So don't hold me to it. So Darlie Lynn Peck Routier was accused, actually charged with killing her son. Devin? Was Devin the one she was charged with killing? Damon. She was charged with killing her son, Damon, although both her sons died in the middle of the night. It is said that Darlie Routier was laying on the main floor with her two sons, but she had three kids. She had another son upstairs, and he was upstairs in his bedroom, and her husband was upstairs, and she was downstairs with her two boys. She called the cops in a frantic, said someone broke into her house. They did find glass, and they did find glass on the inside of the house. Rookie mistake when people try to set up crimes, that someone break into their house and the glass is outside. Now, but the glass was inside the house. She said someone broke into her house, someone killed her sons, and someone cut her neck to a millimeter by her carotid artery, if I'm saying that correctly. A millimeter away from the place that you're not coming back from. A millimeter. It is said that I think a bloody shirt of hers was found down the street a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And she called the police in a frantic, but she was so worried about her fingerprints like being on like the murder weapon or whatever, right? Okay, so pretty much a lot of people rocking with her, sad, someone broke into her house, killed her two sons. Until she made a video of, I think a week later, at the boys' graves, and she was sort of having like a birthday party for them and using silly string. And this is where I said I lied. But I didn't lie. I did not lie, but I lied. But I didn't. I've never heard of this case before, but I did. See, what had happened was when I saw last night the footage of her doing the silly string, it came into me and said, oh, I remember this case. Who doesn't know about the case with a woman at the kid's grave doing silly string? Anybody who was in true crime in the 90s saw this footage, and I saw the footage. I saw it, and I remember at the time, in 1996, I remember specifically saying that that woman killed her kids. That woman killed her children because who would throw silly string around? But something has happened since that time, and me being years old right now. Life. You know what I've seen since then? I've seen people take dead bodies at a funeral or a wake and put them on motorcycles. Dress them up, people coming in and pose and do kind of cool photos, and I'm like, he's dead. He's dead. I've seen all kind of weird stuff. I've seen people grieve in ways you could not have imagined.
Willie is smiling because he is so grateful that we remembered him. And we remembered his baby back ribs along with his barbecue sauce. The family to come, take a rib, dip it in our fountain, dip a rib in the sauce in honor of our friend and our brother, Mr. Willie Wolf Johnson McCoy.
So right now in 2019, we understand fully that people will grieve in weird ways. So I think that if she were to spray Silly Stream because it was going to be her son who passed away and was murdered birthday, but he's dead, and that's her way of honoring his birthday because he wanted a party, I would have looked at it as weird, but I don't think it would have been automatically you're guilty like it was back then. So I go back and I just look at the limited information I know right now. We'll get more into detail as I look at this case more and more in the future, and I'm subject to change. But from the limited information, can I kill two of my kids, burst their window out without my wife waking up and another kid upstairs, without anybody waking up? Yes, I can. That makes me feel creepy. Yeah, I could do that and she wouldn't wake up. I could run down the street, the garage door she may hear, but she won't wake up because a lot of times I leave to get me something to eat in the midnights because I'm not healthy and I'm working on that. Trust me, you should see a change soon. But yes, I can get away with that. I can do that. Now, if I'm going to stage a crime, would I slice my neck without any kind of skills? And I'm almost a millimeter. No, I would not take that risk. As a matter of fact, most people who harm themselves to make it look like they were a part, they'll tell somebody, hey, shoot me in the arm if they have an accomplice. Or if they stab themselves, it's always superficial on their extremities, but it's never on their neck. That's crazy. Is it plausible that she could have done it? Possibly. I think you're dumb, if you slice yourself in the neck like that. Also, why not? I don't know someone who only wants to kill some of their children. Normally, a mom wipes out all of her kids. She doesn't kill some of them. And, so she left her husband and her other son upstairs. So I don't know a clear motive. I heard a motive in this case. Could be money. Because she likes to spend a lot of money and stuff. I don't know, just because somebody in debt, they say, you know what, I got 3 kids. 2 of them can go. I can still have 1 left, and we young enough, we can have another kid. And then I'll be back to 2 again. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this right now. I'm not ready to say she's completely innocent or completely guilty. However, I heard that the Innocence Project is taking over this case. So I am looking forward to seeing the evidence that arises in the future. And I'll keep up on that. Now for the Nipsey Hussle portion of this video, let's go into my other room for a more serious setting. I saw 3 consecutive Instagram posts about Nipsey Hussle last Sunday going down my timeline. Only 3 posts instantly said he's dead. I don't know how I knew. I just knew. That's the first thing I was talking about when I said Nipsey Hussle's dead. I didn't read a caption or anything. It's just something I felt. And then I scrolled down Instagram some more, and everybody's posting about him. Sure enough, he passed away. He was shot in front of his own store. Now, the history of this store is, this is a location when he was an unknown rapper. He used to sell his CDs out of his car with his trunk hanging around at this location. So to go from that to purchasing the entire plaza, to giving jobs back to his community, a restaurant, seafood restaurant that's going to be focused on health. He was building a barbershop to employ people in his community. His last post on Twitter said having strong enemies is a blessing. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I first heard that, I thought that was some ignorant stuff, and that's the kind of mentality that get you killed before your time. That was my first initial thought. But we're going to come back to that quote at the end. So Nipsey Hussle had a friend who just got out of prison, and because he owned the clothing store, he was driving his friend to his clothing store to get him some clothes to have him looking nice before he go meet his family. So he made a quick stop to his store. Allegedly, Nipsey had words earlier that day with someone by the name of Eric Holder. Now, they knew each other, and there are pictures of them together online. Apparently, Nipsey called Eric a snitch earlier. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but they had words earlier, and Eric came back when he saw Nipsey there. He opened fire on Nipsey and his friends. He turned to run away, and he came back and shot him again while he was on the ground. And then he turned to walk away, and he came back a third time, shot Nipsey in the head, and then kicked him. When you have found the woman of your dreams, and you have a beautiful child together, your career is booming, and you are now doing what you always wanted to do. You always wanted to help your community. You've always wanted to bring peace to your community. And someone shoots you and you fall to the ground. The scariest thing I could think of is knowing that you're shot, but you can feel your legs, you can feel your arms. You're hurt, but you can survive this. Allegedly, Nipsey Hussle's friend said that Nipsey looked at him as he came back. Just imagine that fear, that you're on the ground and you look up and he points that gun to you again. What goes on in your head? Nipsey Hussle was scheduled to meet with the police department and also the mayor the following day. He was scheduled to meet them about peace in the neighborhood, peace in the community. The day before Nipsey Hussle lost his life, someone tapped him on his shoulders. It was one of his enemies, someone who didn't like him in the past. And instead of those guys fighting, right there on the spot, they came to a truce that if you can get all your people, and I can get my people, and we can finally show unity. And they took a picture in unity. So when Nipsey Hussle's final tweet says, having strong enemies is a blessing, not only was he being literal, but he was correct. Because his enemy being strong means that he has the reputation that others would listen to him, while people listen to Nipsey and they can bring people together. No violence. The biggest thing I think about is if you come from poverty-stricken areas, do you go back in to help? And the answer is yes and no. I want to see everybody survive. I'm one of those idealistic people that think that everybody can be happy. So for everybody to be happy, if there's anything I can do, I'm willing to do to help. But I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. We have to understand the world that we live in, its reality, and these are dangerous locations. If you are a father, a mother, it is your responsibility to keep yourself out of harm's way, to provide for your children, for the next generation. Because while you love community, you have to love your family first. And as a man, it's your family. I feel, I'm sorry if you guys think I'm being sexist, that's just how I feel. It's like, it's my family. I have to be here for my children before I can help anybody else. So I would give and I would help, but I would never, ever go back. It's just not safe. And it has nothing to do with skin color. Poverty-stricken areas, places where people are without, will always have the most violence. From the ghettos of America to the ghettos of Ireland. If anybody thinks that this has anything to do with color, and you are of a different race, give me your baby. Let me take your newborn baby and put them in that area, and let's see how they turn out. Heard Kevin Hart talk about what's cool. And he said, it's not cool to be positive. And I posted that on my community wall. And I was like, he's right. It's not cool to be positive, you know? But we can make being positive cool. That's the one thing I take away from Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was making being positive cool. He was being cool to know about stocks and bonds. He was making it cool to know about investing. He was making it cool to give back to your community. And once it becomes cool, everybody does it. That's the one thing I would take away from this situation. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe if you have not. And Eric Holder, there was absolutely no way you were going to get away with this murder. So now you're in prison for the rest of your life. You know you're not going to see your children. You're not going to see your mother. You know it's all over, but you're going to miss the tiny trivial things. Like taking a walk down the street. Or also joining people that you grew up with to try to help them make a better community. It is because of these reasons I always end my video saying, don't kill, make a sandwich. I'll see you guys next time.